Hey people, are you ready for a new video? I know I am. We're going to take a look at this laptop here. This is an HP ProBook 4530S from about 2011, which is also my secondary laptop, so yeah, let's take a look at it. On the top we have the HP indenting or branding logo. We have an SD card reader with a cover, which is cool. Oh, it dropped. Yeah, it does have an SD card reader. I haven't used it much. And we have a headphone and microphone. On the right side we have two USB 2.0s, a cover, I'm not sure what this is for, maybe Firewire, and we have a DVD burner drive. On the back we have nothing except for the battery, which actually holds a pretty good charge for a computer this age. Then on this side we have the power in, we have VGA, Ethernet, HDMI, not sure which revision, and we have a USB 3.0 port and a USB 2.0 port. So actually one thing that's nice about a laptop this age that has Sandy Bridge, it has USB 3 on it, which is pretty nice. So yeah. Taking a look at the laptop, we have a 15.4 inch or 15.6 inch 1366 by 768 screen. It's also a matte display, which is pretty nice. We have a webcam, and we have SRS premium sound, which it does have pretty good sound. Over here we have the power button. We have the speakers, which are on the top, which is nice. Over here we have, I think that's the internet button, or whatever browser you have set as your default, and a Wi-Fi button. The keyboard, it's actually a really good keyboard. I really like this one. So good for a secondary laptop. It also has a numpad, which is pretty nice. We have ProBook. We have touchpad, which is a pretty good size. Don't really use touchpads that much because I usually use a mouse. We have Intel Core i3 and Windows 7 badges. I do not run Windows 7 on here because Windows 7 is out of support. I'm running Windows 10 on here. Yeah. And yeah. So for specs, we do have a Intel so we have a Core i3 2350M at 2.3 gigahertz. It originally had 4 gigs of RAM, but I added another 4 gig, so it now has 8 gigs of RAM. It originally had a 500 gig C8 hard drive, but I replaced it with a 240 gig PNY SSD, which is pretty fast. And it has Intel graphics, and the original OS was Windows 7 Professional, but I'm running Windows 10 on here, like I said. So yeah, let's go, and there you go. Alright, let's go and boot it up. It boots pretty quick. I do have UEFI enabled. And that fan does work quite a bit. So you put it down, no peeking. I'm going to turn my monitor off. So there you go, it boots pretty quick. And then there's my wallpaper, which I use on modern computers. So if we take a look, wait for Windows, and Hold on. You see that? So it's running Windows 10 Enterprise LTSC. And there you go, as I mentioned before, it does have to be Core i3 2350M at 2.3 GHz with 8 gigs of RAM. And I did put the OEM information in. And the hard drive, like I said, is a 240 gig SSD. As you can see. And we'll check out CPU-Z. And there we go with the i3 2350M Sandy Bridge. It is a 35 watt CPU. And it has 3 megabytes of level 3 cache. Where's my cursor? As you can see, we have 32 kilobytes of L1, 256 kilobytes of L2, and 3 megabytes of L3. There's a BIOS date, which is from 2015. Does have 8 gigs of RAM. And now the RAM in here is actually 1600. Because it's Sandy Bridge, it only runs at 1333. So that's the 8 gigs. That's the 4 gig that came in it. And that's the one I put in myself. And then the graphics is just Intel HD Graphics 3000. If I load up Specky, if I have it installed, which I do, I just use Specky. Load up Specky. You can see. There you go. And browsing the internet does pretty good with it. So still, sure I don't know. So it is the internet. So yeah, it's a pretty good laptop. It's just my secondary laptop as well. So, and there you go. And thank you for watching, people, and have a good one.